just the same old shit, left alone wherever I sit. Why this place so dry, no love to find. You're the only one that ever acts kind. They all after me, what's happening? I wish that you could see what I see. Your boyfriend's a douche that thinks he's cool and doesn't deserve a girl like you.
Hey guys, it's me, Nagatu Uzumaki Wadifer. I know that I've been gone for a month, and I keep saying that I'll keep uploading. I should just stop at this point, but as you can see, we're about to be doing part 4 of What If Naruto is the reincarnation of L from Death Note and Neglected. And so, last part, after Naruto sealed Gaara's tailed beast, he body flickered away. Just in case they might recognize him, because Shikamaru was there, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Shikamaru was there, and, he's pretty smart. He has pretty much the same IQ as Naruto. But so, I forgot a few things in the time I was gone, which is, I don't remember if I killed the third Hokage or not, and I don't remember if I gave Naruto a brother and sister or just a brother. So I'm gonna say that Naruto just had I'm gonna say that Naruto did have a brother and sister, and their team was kind of special since they had one extra genin, because there wasn't 2 other genin to put her in a squad in, so they just put her in that squad since her brother was on that squad and they'd already had pretty good teamwork. And I'm going to say that the third Hokage didn't die, but got gravely injured to the point where he can't be the Hokage anymore. So, for a while there, Danzo wanted to become the Hokage, but then the search for Tsunade happens, they find her, and she becomes the new Hokage. But now let's cut back to Naruto and the Black Ops, but to the rest of the Genin, because some of the Genin had saw Naruto sometimes when they were younger around the village, and for a little bit in the academy before he went off to become an Anbu, and so they just decided. But so Sasuke and Menma, their ego got kind of bruised because they saw this guy there who just whooped Gaara, and Gaara slapped them. So, but they did realize he was an Anbu, and so they decided that that was the reason why he was better than them, because he was an Anbu, but they had become better than him one day and figure out who he was, and they become the Hokage. Oh wait, I forgot. The third Hokage, that Minato's still alive, so there's no reason for the third Hokage to die, and Tsunade become the fifth Hokage. Well, I'm just gonna say that the third Hokage still got injured because he was fighting Orochimaru while Minato was out looking for Menma and Mito. And so, but so they decide that they're going to train harder and they're going to figure out who the Anbu is so that they could spar him and beat him. And so I'm going to say Menma, Mito, and Sakura are going to be training with Tsunade, and Sasuke oh no, Menma and yeah, just Menma is going to be training with Jiraiya, and Sasuke is going to be doing a little bit of training with Kakashi and some of the other rookie nine to pick up on some new abilities with his Sharingan. And so, uh, now Menma and Sasuke are stronger, but they're still not stronger than Naruto or even Neji. Well, no, because I'm gonna say Menma and Sasuke together are on the same level as Neji, but separately they're only like 1/3 of Neji's strength. But so they train for a while, and since Sasuke's Sasuke isn't inclined to join Orochimaru by thinking that he's not as strong as Naruto and he needs to get stronger to defeat Itachi and all that. I also forgot if I made the Uchiha Massacre happen or not. I'm gonna say I didn't. I'm gonna say that he just doesn't go with Orochimaru at all, which will make him a little bit weaker, but he'll make for up for it later probably. But so after a while of training, I'm gonna say this is after the training exams and Shikamaru. Uh, let's say Shikamaru, um, Menma, and Sasuke and Mito became Chunin. While the rest of them did not. Uh, they decided to ask Minato who the Anbu was, and they didn't really know who he was because they couldn't see his face, so they just described his clothes and his hair and his mask. And so Minato called for all of the Anbu, and uh, it wasn't in his normal. It wasn't in the normal Anbu Black Ops, so he decided it had to be in one of Donzo's division of Root Anbu. So he asked Donzo who that kid was, and Donzo had a smirk because he did care about Naruto's power and keeping him in the Root Anbu, but he also did care for Naruto as a ninja and slightly as a person, because he knew that Naruto would definitely be able to protect the village, and if he didn't, then he then Naruto would have to make him protect the village. But all signs so far showed that Naruto had all intentions in protecting the village. But so um Nar but so he tells him that he'll send Minato the Anbu in a bit, and about and about 5 hours later, uh the Anbu walks in, and Sasuke and Menma had already left. So they so Minato tells Zanbu to go get Sasuke and Menma because they want to ask him something, and so Naruto says yes. Except he said it in an altered voice so that Minato wouldn't be able to tell it was him, even though Minato probably wouldn't be able to tell anyway since it's been a few years since he last saw Naruto. And so Naruto body flickers, grabs Sasuke and Menma because they were walking together to go to Ichiraku and hang out with their teams, and body flickers back to the office and stands there silent and like, so Lord Four, what did they want to ask me? In a monotone voice, and uh, the the Lord Four says they want to fight you. And Naruto smirks under the mask and laughs, and smirks under the mask, and then he starts laughing. So these children want to fight me. And just saying, they're the same age as Naruto, except Naruto's voice is like slightly deeper than theirs, and he's like a lot taller than them. He's like the height compared to them would have been like he's half of Itachi's adult. Like almost at he's at like his eyes could stare at Itachi's neck. Like that's how tall he is. So he's pretty tall compared to them. And so no, actually he's not that tall, but he is taller than them. He's like 5'6" at 12, and they're like 5'3", so like 3 inches taller, but still taller than them. You get it, but whatever. So Menma gets mad and says, "Hey, idiot, you can't be laughing at the fourth Hokage's kid like that," and smirks and says, "Cause I'm gonna beat your ass." And so Naruto laughs and says he wants to fight them both to prove to them that they're both nothing compared to him. And so they go out to a training field behind the Hokage mansion, and Menma and Sasuke both charge at Naruto, and Sasuke does a giant fireball, and Naruto dodges, but then looks to his right and sees that Menma has her Sengon ready, and Naruto suddenly tunnels under the earth with an earth jutsu. Well, yeah, with an earth style jutsu, pops right up behind Menma, grabs his arm that he has the Rasengan in, and makes Menma hit himself with his own Rasengan. And then, yeah. And so, now Menma's down for the count, because even though he has some of the Kyuubi, the Kyuubi doesn't really like Menma or Mita. It likes Menma the least out of the three, so it's not really trying to heal him. It's just healing him like super slow. And so then Sasuke throws a gigantic shuriken like the one he threw at Zabuza, and Naruto dodges it. But then the shuriken turns into another Sasuke, and he does the hand style signs for fire style for the great flame style jutsu, and Naruto backflips, and he's about to land when he sees that Sasuke has a Chidori ready and is charging at him. So Naruto decides that if he could take the hit, that would be pretty cool, because he would prove to the fourth Hokage that he could take a Chidori, like a deadly jutsu, like A rank or B rank, and not die. So Naruto asks the Kyuubi, "Hey Kyuubi, lend me some of your chakra." And the Kyuubi's like, "Alright." And so Naruto's getting prepared to take the hit, but then he decides to just blitz Sasuke and run around him, and then he chops Sasuke in the back of the neck, and Sasuke passes out. And then the fourth Hokage was surprised, because besides Rock Lee and Neji, those were his best Genin. Those were the best of the Rookie 9. Besides, like I said, Rock Lee, Neji, and Sai, because there's no Sai. Because there's no need to replace Naruto when there's two other Narutos, kind of. But he knows that Neji joined the Root Anbu and is in the same division as him, as this guy. So he needs to know if Neji's also this powerful, because if so, then he would need Neji to be like a part of something bigger, because he doesn't want Neji leaving, even though Neji probably wouldn't leave since he's friends with Naruto. But he's thinking that if he could get this guy or Neji, since he knows that they're both around the same age as Mito, to marry Mito or into the the Uzumaki bloodline, or just he wants one of them to marry Mito, and so he's like, all right, because remember, he doesn't know that this is Naruto. He knows that Neji's in the Rudanbu, and he knows that Naruto disappeared. That's all he knows. And so he's gonna ask Danzo directly, because he doesn't want to ask like this kid, because the kid's gonna like laugh at him or something. And he wants to get an actual response, since the kid probably respects Danzo but doesn't seem to care that much about him. I mean, he sees that the kid respects him, but respects him out of the fact that he's the Hokage. And so he's going to decide to ask Danzo to ask the kid if one of them would marry his daughter or both. So he goes a while later after Naruto leaves, dragging Sasuke and Menma to their friends, because he heard them talking about it before he body flickered them to the office. And so he asks Danzo, so Naruto body flickers them back to where their friends are hanging out to get taken care of. And a while later, Minato goes to ask Danzo, so Danzo, who is that kid and what clan is he from? He beat both Menma and Sasuke almost like it was nothing. And he even managed to avoid getting hit with a Rasengan. And so, Danzo decides that he's gonna not tell him. Or actually, no, he's gonna tell him just to play with him. And, like, break his spirit. Because while Danzo didn't really I'm just gonna say that he doesn't really like Minato. But so he says, oh, that boy, his name, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, or just known as Naruto. And Minato is shocked. Like, he's surprised, and he's like, Naruto? But Naruto's dead. There's no way that's Naruto, and especially, that's not even in Naruto's skill range. And Danzo smirks and is like, then go ask the boy yourself. He's training. And I'm gonna say they're in, like, the underground Root Anbu base. And so they're on an upper platform with a railing looking down over sparring sessions between Root Anbu. And Naruto and Neji are sparring. And I'm going to say, just for the sake of plot, Neji using his gentle fist, does something similar to Hinata's twin line fist, except it's not. It's actually weaker. But if he trained with Hinata, he could. I'm gonna say that he might be able to do it, depending on what you guys think. But so he breaks Naruto's mask, like he breaks half of it, and half falls off, and Minato sees like like Naruto's sky blue eyes aren't that bright anymore. Like they don't have that sparkle. Sorry, but they don't have that sparkle anymore. They're just like a dull blue, or like a dark blue. And he has the 3 whisker marks and the blonde hair. Except, I think I forgot to mention this, which is why everyone doesn't know it's Naruto, besides the fact that he's wearing a mask, is because he dyed his hair. And he could see that the tips of, like, it was going out. It was from, like, he could see the roots of Naruto's hair was blonde, but the rest of it was black. And so that's how Naruto kept his identity hidden. Because Menma and Naruto were pretty much identical. And Mita just kind of looked like Kushina. But so Naruto dyed his hair black and had it more straightened out. Well, no. He made his hair more like less spiky, and had it more like no, yeah, he had it. He still has it spiky. It's just like Shisui's hair. You know, like it's black and it's literally just like Shisui's hair. But so, Minato sees that it's Naruto and is like, whoa, like that was like the dead last. But so he decides to go and ask. Well, he decides to not ask Naruto if he'd come back, but he decides to ask Naruto if he would train some of the Rookie 9. Like, he knows that he probably wouldn't need to train Rock Lee or Neji, and he's still confident in Sasuke and Manma and Mito's abilities, but he doesn't want him to train every member of the Rookie 9 except Neji, since Neji already is in the Rudambu and is already worthy of being there, obviously. And so, he decides that he's gonna ask Naruto to train them. Like, more specifically, Kiba and Sakura, Hinata. And so, he goes to ask. Well, he's gonna ask later. But so, Naruto. I'm gonna say that right now, Naruto's styles that he has right now, because he might unlock more in the future. He has Earth, Lightning, and Wind. Earth, Lightning, and Wind. So 3 out of the 5 chakra natures, not including Kekkei Genkai or Kekkei Tomorai, which he might unlock. But so he's going to ask later if Naruto could train some of the Rookie 9. And so, like, a week after, Menma and Sasuke got beat, they recovered, and I'm going to say that's how, well, Now, I'm going to say that Sasuke doesn't leave the village in this, and the Uchiha clan massacre doesn't happen. I'm going to say... Yeah, so things are going to be more calmed out throughout the series than as went before when Sasuke left in canon. But so, a week or two after Naruto fought Menma and Sasuke, they recovered, and so as soon as they recovered, Minato calls the Rookie Nine to the office, and Naruto's just standing there besides Minato, kinda, and is just there, and Kiba's there, and he's like, "Hey, Lord Fourth, who's this guy?" And so Minato tells him that he's one of the Root Anbu, and he's going to be training them. And Mito says, "We don't need some lame Root Anbu training us. Because I know that I've been training really hard under Tsunade, but I don't know about Sakura, and I already know that Sasuke is cool and powerful enough to beat this guy." And Menma and Mito just kind of glare at her, along as Sakura, but Menma's like, "I'm gonna beat you this time." And Sasuke just stares at him. And Naruto says, "Well, like it or not, Mito, all of you will be training under me. Or will at least be training with me from time to time. At least once every month." And so they all just stare at him. And so... Oh, no, wait. Actually, since Neji left, I could have Mito replace Neji on that team. Yeah, I'll do that. And so... they decided... Naruto decided to prove them his strength by sparring all of them at once. And he told them all to go all out and try to kill him. Kind of like how Kakashi did. But so Kakashi Kakashi was there, and so were the rest of the sensei. So Kakashi was there, Guy was there, Osmo and Kurenai were all gonna watch a sparring session in the same place that Naruto sparred Sasuke and Menma. And so Naruto, and I think that's where I'll leave it off. He's gonna spar them next episode, and I think I might do a few other things, but I'm Nagato Uzumaki Wadefuru, and peace.